we go.
1, 2, 3!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 23 worst TV shows of each year.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of will and taste.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most horrendous scripted series from 2000 through 2022. Which year do you think was the worst era of television? Let us know in the comments. 2000, Tucker. What better way to kick off the 21st century than with some bad television? This NBC sitcom is about a young boy named Tucker who must move in with his aunt, uncle, and cousin after his parents' divorce.
This isn't Buckingham Palace, you know. Though it is a bit nicer than your old house.
While on the surface, it seems to be your run-of-the-mill early 2000s family series. But you'll quickly learn upon watching that the major obstacle that our protagonist faces is his constant preteen excitement.
I couldn't help noticing you talking to Mrs. Reed just now.
Seems you can't help noticing a great many things I do.
Instead of tackling teen boy problems in a humorous or interesting way, Tucker comes off as weirdly sexual and underthought.
I'm sorry, did that put a bad visual in your head?
It's okay.
2001, Off Center. From the team that created the American Pie franchise comes disappointment. Having to live up to expectations is a difficult task, but Off Center fully missed the mark.
Oh my God! This elevator is bigger than our old apartment. Look at this. Look at what I'm touching. Nothing.
Airing for 2 seasons on the WB network, this sitcom follows friends Mike and Ewan and their New York antics and adventures. The plot lines throughout the show are far from unique, resting on tired tropes for their stories.
So you were projecting your own fear and mistrust onto Liz, which is why you thought it was necessary to lie.
I should be going out with you.
Dormant bisexual nature.
And taking place in 2001 as it did, there are countless sexist and homophobic jokes that simply aren't funny. Even with the magnificent John Cho in their cast, this series still doesn't land.
Sit down. I'm gonna bring you the check in a minute. In a minute.
I'm sorry,
In a minute.
2002, That 80s Show. Did you know Glenn Howerton had this leading role before co-creating and starring in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Luckily for him, being a part of this series didn't hold him back from his future acting endeavors.
Kids, Mother and I split up.
That happened 2 years ago.
I know, I just love saying it.
While this show was produced by a similar crew as That 70s Show, it didn't have the same charm or success.
Did you hear that? She's gonna fire you.
Not me. I have seniority.
Critics noted that there wasn't enough time between the actual decade and the show itself for it to be as nostalgic as its predecessor. Who knows? Maybe if they tried again now, it'd be a hit.
Hi, Dad. Would it be okay if I quit?
Sure, son, sure. I'm gonna fire you anyway.
2003, My Big Fat Greek Life. Some great ideas are best left alone. In 2003, Nia Vardalos, the star of My Big Fat Greek Wedding, adapted the film into a sitcom for CBS. Some details between the movie and the TV series changed, most notably the actor playing Vardalos' husband.
You know something? You look different.
He does look different.
But aside from the casting switch, the show failed to deliver the same wit and nuance that the source material had. The characters became flat caricatures, resting on Greek stereotypes for laughs.
I would love a house.
Shut up.
You shut up.
Hey.
Our advice, if you're a fan of the movie, skip this spin-off before it ruins the original for you.
But what if you want to cook a lamb tonight?
You do realize, even among Greeks, you're not normal.
2004, Hawaii. If there's a television genre that never seems to go out of style, it's crime drama procedurals. But that certainly doesn't mean they're always foolproof.
Hey, detective. You gotta see this.
Not to be confused with the classic Hawaii Five-0, this NBC cop show also followed a task force based in Honolulu.
Is there a problem? You want to get into this here?
Yes, yeah.
I'm getting too many complaints about you two.
Its fatal flaw was the blatant unoriginality in both concept and execution, especially with such a close comparison to the hit CBS series. The first season of Hawaii was intended to have an 8-episode run, but only 7 were released before its inevitable cancellation.
You think he's gonna file a complaint?
I think we're gonna lose our jobs.
2005, Killer Instinct. Watching this show, it seems like the creators came up with the title first and then forgot to make it any good.
Hey, Jeff. Heard you're back. How you doing? Better than her.
This crime series is about Jack Hale, a detective in the fictional Deviant Crimes Unit of the San Francisco Police Department. What gives Hale his title-worthy killer instinct? His father was a serial killer, of course.
How do you feel about deviant crime?
I'm against it.
Good.
But this key character and plot point is lazily shoehorned in, not holding any real weight in the stakes of the show. Also, the crimes investigated go far beyond deviant. They're bizarrely grotesque.
Get it off her. Now!
5 minutes, paralysis sets in. In about 9 hours, she's dead, unless you agree to help us.
What are you talking about?
2006, South Beach. With the J-Lo stamp of approval, how could you go wrong? Originally airing on UPN, this show, executive produced in part by Jennifer Lopez, follows two guys from Brooklyn who decide to move to the much flashier city of Miami, Florida.
Whole new world, Maddie. It's like we left everything behind us.
Other than some beautiful shots of the scenery, this series has very little to offer in terms of plot intrigue or character development.
So you guys know each other?
Matt, this is Alex, my boyfriend.
In the ranking for television shows in the 2005 to 2006 season, South Beach earned the 152nd spot out of 156. You know what they say, first is the worst, 152nd is the best. That's the saying, right?
I had a friend who used to say, you're not ready for something when someone says you are. You are ready when you take it.
2007, Viva Laughlin. This year had some real stinkers, like ABC's sitcom Cavemen that was based on the Geico commercials. But the worst show of 2007 goes to this musical drama hybrid series that was cut after only 2 episodes on CBS.
This place is a license to print money.
However, the songs performed aren't originals. They just have the actors sing over slightly lower volume tracks of popular songs.
All you need is a strong eye and a nerve of steel. Viva Las Vegas.
One moment you're listening to our protagonist sing along to what sounds like the radio, and the next he's wrapped up in a murder case. These two elements never ever blend together in this show, resulting in a dissonant, laughable mess. 2008, Knight Rider. Okay, we'll say it, enough with the revivals. If the original's so good that it's worth revamping, we'll just watch the original.
Michael, Sarah, we have a problem.
What kind of problem?
This is exactly the case for this NBC spin-off show, which carries on the story of both the 1982 version of the series of the same name and its subsequent TV movie. In the reboot, we follow Michael Tracer, the son of David Hasselhoff's character in the first Knight Rider.
About 25 years ago, there was a man named Wilton Knight who, on his deathbed, told me one man can make a difference.
This series attempts to update the 1982 plot lines, but ultimately crashes and burns with dull characters and cheesy action.
You know, kid, we're not supposed to joyride.
True, Sarah. But then again, we do not always have to do everything we are told.
2009, The Last Templar. If this plot summary sounds at all interesting, we strongly advise that you go read the book instead.
I can get you one of the two.
This mini-series, based on the novel of the same name by Raymond Corey, is an adventure following an archaeologist who travels the world in hopes of decoding an ancient secret code.
Are exactly where Al-Idrisi said it should be.
Who?
Al-Idrisi. The great cartographer, perhaps the greatest of all time?
The show does a remarkably poor job of pacing its complicated plot and has some heavy-handed religious implications that can be off-putting for some audiences. And the cherry on top of any bad television show, the acting here is atrocious.
I'm sorry, Father, this isn't what I signed up for.
2010, My Dad Says. What do you get when you cast William Shatner as the star of a network sitcom adapted from a Twitter thread? You've got the recipe for our worst series of 2010.
Will you please tell him that everyone has the internet now?
Tell him it's my house and I make the rules.
It's his house, he makes the rules.
This show is about the dynamic between the filterless 72-year-old Ed and his adult children.
Dad, is this your way of asking me to live here?
Why would I want you to live here? You're a pain in the ass who only wants my money. You're like a Girl Scout without the cookies.
It's unfortunate to see the talented Shatner reduced to this seemingly half-thought series. Even seasoned comedy pros Will Sasso and Nicole Sullivan feel wasted. For a comedy, it's flat and unfunny, and the multi-camera laugh track setup does it absolutely no favors.
You don't know what you're talking about. And let me give you a piece of advice. If you're going to kiss my ass for money, at least put on a nice shade of lipstick.
2011, Charlie's Angels. Another year, another bad reboot. The original 1976 Charlie's Angels garnered a cult following during its run on ABC, but this 2011 remake did not have the same luck.
Just remember, we earn our wings together. I'm ready.
Our 3 leads give us a whole lot of nothing, tanking a show they could have potentially anchored. However, the dialogue isn't any better, which doesn't help their performances whatsoever.
If we're gonna shut down Rodrigo's operation, we need him alive.
About tonight, I'm sorry.
Too late, you're benched.
This female-driven action show genuinely could have been given a fun modern spin, but instead stayed firmly within expectation, leading to a boring watch. Due to the negative reception, only 4 of the 13 episodes ended up making it to the air.
Keep me posted, Angels.
You got it.
2012, Fred, the show. Is the biggest flop of 2012 Work It, the poor taste sitcom about two men who go to work in drag? Not quite. The only show that possibly could beat that one is the infamous Fred Figglehorn comedy.
Hi guys, it's Fred!
Based on his already polarizing viral YouTube channel, putting Fred front and center for his own series was destined to be a disaster. Anything that made his channel entertaining was completely lost in the sauce of this production. His obnoxious, squawking voice against the cookie-cutter teen show background is a blinding dissonance that it's impossible to sit through.
Dog! Kev Dog! Kev Dog!
And no, it isn't even a little funny.
Fred, he's the best! Yeah! Fred! Yeah!
2013, Dads. Have you all lost your hope in humanity yet? If not, buckle in. This one might do it for you.
It's not funny, Dad. You can't just make a joke out of everything.
Well, if I don't, who will? Not you.
From the twisted mind of Seth MacFarlane comes a Fox sitcom seemingly designed to upset and offend its audience just for the sake of it. Dads has the straightforward premise of two men grappling with their fathers moving in with them, but constantly takes its stories in unnecessarily crude directions.
My dad quickly closes the laptop every time I walk into the room. I wonder why.
Drawing the most controversy was the portrayal of Brenda Song's character, who was repeatedly tokenized and sexualized. You can only wonder how they let even one episode make it to television.
Oh, come on.
You're gonna deny those things?
No, but I'm gonna say, oh, come on.
2014, St. George. You're better than this, George Lopez. After his long-running self-titled family sitcom came to an end, Lopez was given this new series on the network FX.
They got a C health rating.
Yeah, that's a Mexican C. You see, because it's red, it means caliente.
Nothing about this comedy feels original, despite what you may surmise from the actions of the show's suspiciously over-enthusiastic live audience. Instead, it's an insufficient copy of the series that preceded it, filled to the brim with lazy, half-baked jokes.
Come on, Mom, when was the last time you were with three guys?
10 days ago.
Oh.
And if the legend Danny Trejo can't do anything to save your show, then you've got something seriously unredeemable on your hands.
What do I want all kinds of kids for? To help you move, to help you do the yard work, to answer the door, to get you a cigarette. Yeah, that's what I do for Daddy here.
2015, Real Rob. Did somebody say Vanity Project? We didn't say it. That must have been somebody else.
Rob, we signed these.
Yeah.
This Netflix show, written, created, produced, and starring Rob Schneider, is a whirlwind. Hot off of his near-identical failed show Rob, Real Rob dares to answer the question nobody asked. What if Schneider had absolute creative control over yet another series?
Okay, obviously you're upset. Obviously. And you should be.
The result is an inconsistent mess of a sitcom that defies every expectation of the genre in the worst way. In one episode, we have Seinfeld-esque cutaways to Schneider's stand-up. In others, we have none. And it's so unfunny, it almost makes you wish there was a laugh track just to help discern what lines Rob Schneider thought were jokes.
It's all right, too late. Already did it.
2016, Hunters. Yes, even shows about aliens can be bad. We're just as upset as you are.
This information remains classified, period.
Airing on the Sci-Fi Network, this drama was an adaptation of the novel Alien Hunter by Whitley Strieber. In it, we follow Flynn Carroll of the FBI who, upon his wife's disappearance, discovers the existence of alien terrorists and begins to track them down.
You can't stop us. We're inside. Inside what?
But the series' low-budget visual and special effects, its lack of exciting storytelling, and over-familiar plot ideas made it fall flat on its face. And so we have yet another one-season wonder.
You don't know a damn thing about what I'm going through. Maybe not.
2017, Inhumans. Don't come for us, Marvel superfans. You know this show stunk. Obviously, any MCU content is immediately going to have the highest possible level of hype known to man. So when Marvel flops, it flops hard.
If you do anything that harms me, the guards will make you pay.
Fans of the comic had hopes that the Inhuman royal family would be larger than life on screen, as they were on the page. But even with their big budget, the characters didn't translate well onto television. As a whole, the series was unexciting, which on its own is enough to destroy a superhero show.
We will not let anyone or anything stop us, because nothing can keep us from being free.
2018, Living Biblically. Lord have mercy. This CBS sitcom is all about a man who recently lost his best friend and decides to live his life strictly by the Bible.
It's like a soul cleanse. Now, I can't explain it exactly, but I feel it.
Because everyone's always saying how the only thing missing from multicam comedies is the good book. Okay, no one's saying that, and for good reason.
I consider Chip Catholic in the same way I consider the Olive Garden Italian.
Living Biblically is basically every other sitcom you've seen, but the twist is our protagonist has stringent, entirely self-imposed religious expectations. This adds no nuance or comedy to the tired plot lines. It instead adds a pointless and strange layer to them.
Freeze frame, high five.
No. 2019, The Island. We imagine that the pitch for this series started with imagine lost but stupid.
So, we don't know who or where we are? And we got two things.
This Netflix show was widely disliked, being found guilty of bad writing, inconsistent themes, and a jarring use of flashbacks. You don't have to watch for long to see why this show is a flop. The dialogue is truly laughable.
Enough with the moping.
I'm not moping, I'm tanning.
But perhaps the series' most disturbing failure was its unsuccessful attempt to make social commentary on serious issues. Overall, The Island is all over the place and failing on all fronts. If you were brave enough to finish season 1, don't expect a season 2.
What are we even doing out here?
Maybe we're dead and this is heaven.
2020, Hoops. This one was far from a slam dunk. This comedy series on Netflix followed the antics of a volatile basketball coach and the team he hopes to bring to glory.
Finally happened, boys.
You had your first heart attack?
No.
You're getting your own place and becoming an independent adult?
Shut up.
But unfortunately, that wasn't the case, as it only lasted one measly season. Even though the adult animation genre tends to be raunchy, Hoops takes everything too far without solid comedic backing.
I hate my dad. I always hated him. I hate him so fucking much I can't fucking think.
Most of the jokes, if you can even call them that, are just vulgar for the sake of shock value. If you're gonna try too hard to be funny, at least be funny.
I thought I was being enlightened, but the truth is, I was being an
We're good, coach.
2021, Sex Life. The thing about a bad comedy series is that it's always unfunny, but a bad drama is almost always hilarious.
There are all those people out there. What if someone needs to talk to you?
There is no one else. It's just us.
Netflix's raunchy drama about a mother who has a torrid affair with her ex is all heat, no kitchen. It's trying so hard to be over-the-top sexy that it's essentially just smut instead, with dialogue so unbelievable it's truly laughable.
It's so f***ing hot watching someone else want you, knowing you're all mine.
While it's clearly intended to be a show for people to mindlessly enjoy, it would have been nice if the creators of Sex Life respected their audience enough to give them some substance.
I'm tied between sleepy and horny all day long.
Why am I just hearing about this now?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. 2022, Fairview. Who's got the final spot in this star-studded lineup of disaster? It's the Comedy Central adult animation series all about a small American town and its mayor dealing with hot-button political issues.
Look at him. One more self-congratulatory TV appearance and he has this crisis solved.
And despite being executive produced by The Late Show's Stephen Colbert, the show fails to provide commentary with any satirical value whatsoever. It takes the vulgarity of South Park but eliminates the unique cultural critique.
Do you want to cancel me? Or do you want to ride? Yeah!
And don't even get us started on the animation style. Seriously, who let this happen? Oh right, Colbert. Well, we can only hope the years to come will provide us with slightly better television, but maybe still a few failures to keep things interesting.
When you live in a town like Fairview, all you have is each other. So act like reckless dumbasses all you want, as much as you want. But let's try not to become comfortable harming ourselves or our fellow dumbasses. Yay!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.